What's up, Bay? Let's preview Sirens, a 1 to 2 player game coming to Kickstarter. By the time you watch this, it might already be there. Link will be in the description below. Welcome to Greece in whatever century, who cares? The Isle of Death, where you get to make these deadly songs to capture poor sailors just like me. First, let's open the box. Cue the music. Sirens is part of the Tiny Games series from Envy-Born Games. There are 3 tiny games we're gonna look at, this being just one of them. Let's review the 2-player game first. So we've got our cheat sheet, we've got our score sheet, and we have our ship deck of the poor sailors that we're gonna flip over to create a song. When you're playing 2 players, it is a card drafting game. You can follow just by using the cheat sheet. So each one of you starts out by flipping over a universal rule card. So just flip it over. Don't worry if you don't understand it. Who cares? There's a symbol right here. That's the most important one. Look in the instruction booklet. I know it's a pain, but we can do this. Look in the instruction booklet for the symbol. It's probably that one. There's going to be a special rule that adjusts the scoring just for this round. Fascinating. We're going to apply that rule, whatever it is, to this round. Don't worry about it yet. Each player draws 4 cards. 1, 2, we can count, do it with me, 3 and 4. Love it. Keep 'em secret, it's the name of the game. You're gonna pick one to keep, boom, put it face down. Give the other 3 to your dear friend, also your opponent who you can't stand, because they burnt your macaroni. That's life. They're gonna do the same thing, and they're gonna give you 3 cards. See, you're drafting it back and forth. You're gonna pick one of those 3 cards they gave you, boom. Put it face down, don't let them know what you're doing. Draft the other 2 cards back. This continues back and forth until you pick your 3rd card. You need 3 cards. Then you're going to discard your last one on the top of the ship deck. That sailor gets to go back to his boat. Let me go back to my boat, please. With your 3 song cards, you now get to create what I'm going to call the stem. Wait a minute, it's called a root. Whatever. Put them in any order you like. Once you understand scoring, it's actually going to matter. Don't worry about it. This is your route. Once you've established it, congratulations. You don't get to change it. There's a leaf in my eye. I hope I don't look ridiculous. Shuffle up the ship deck. Start drafting again. Draw 4 cards. Exactly the same as last time. Keep 1, pass 3. They pass them over to you. Keep 1, pass them 2. They do the same exact thing. Keep your last one. Discard what remains. Now you get to build your progression. You get to add on to your song to the left or to the right. You do not get to change your route. Hands off. Each one of you has your progression. Your siren song to capture the sailor is complete. Let's see who has the more alluring song. Let's go to scoring. First, check for hearts. Whoever has the most hearts at the top gets to score first. Also, whoever has the most hearts gets to score the difference. So I have 5. Congratulations, you get to be the loser. We're going to pretend you have 3. I get 2 points. Boom. Now we're going to score for parts. If you look at the bottom, it's colors. We're going to call it parts. Why? Who cares? So you can see I've got orange together, and then green, and then red, and then green. 1 part, 2 part, 3 part, 4 part. Stay with me. Each part gets scored exponentially. What a big word, doesn't really exist yet in my language. Who cares? 2 parts, 2 times 2 is 4. That's 4 points. There's only 1 of this, so that's 1 point. There's 2 here, it's another 4 points. If we had 3 in a row, it would be 3 times 3 equals 9. I can do math. We keep track of our points on our scorecard. There's actually a red and blue cube, which I forgot to bring out. We're going to pretend it's there. That's where you'd keep track, not a big deal. Next, you score the flow of the song. The flow of the song are these lovely icons in the middle. If I've got a green icon here, it means that I want to see a green part down there. Did I do that? Of course not. Little rebel. But here, flow would be, I want this to be followed by green, and it is. Congratulations, I have 1 flow. 1 flow is worth 1 point. If I were to have another flow following that, that would be worth 2 points. And if there was another flow following that, well, that would be 3 points. Do you get the point of the points? In this case, green goes to green, that's 1 point. Now we want a blue to follow. Didn't happen. We do this all the way over. Congratulations, I only got 1 point for flows, not my best song. Finally, jazz hands, we score for the relics, or whatever you want to call them. Don't care. Charms. See these little icons in the lower half. If you get them to match, you get to keep the points listed. For instance, I get this shell here. It's worth 3 points. Boom. Add my 3 points. No other charms match, no points. Whoever got the most points has made the most alluring song. Congratulations, you have captured the sailor. You take that rule whatever card and keep it for yourself. Universal rule, that's what it's called. Then, you get to put this in a 2x6 grid. Hold your phone over it with a very special app just for this game. The app will scan it and actually play the song that you have composed. Man, spicy. Shuffle it up, flip a new universal rule, check out for the new scoring alternatives for that round, start another round, first player to capture 2 sailors wins the game. That's it. To play the solo mode, simply flip over this little guide here to solo and you get to meet Orpheus, my bro. Used to be bros, that's right, we used to jam. He's a master on the lyre, I'm a master on the lute, until he took my macaroni. You can see macaroni has been a problem for me lately. Ending friendships left and right. But whatever. Orpheus thinks he can write a better song than you, the siren, to capture those sailors. Why does he want to capture sailors? I'm not sure. Maybe he's just trying to keep them away, free them. I'm not entirely sure what's going on here. He's playing a song. First of all, you're going to flip over the first card, and that is Orpheus's intro. Congratulations. Now you're going to draw 2 cards for yourself. Same deal with drafting, but you only get 2 cards. Boo. You're going to lay 1 for yourself, or just put it in your hand, whatever. The other one goes to Orpheus. You may place it to the left or to the right of what's already there. You always place it to the left if it's going to be advantageous, following the exact same scoring rules as the 2-player mode. I don't see any advantage, don't think too hard, I'm going to put it to the right just for kicks and giggles. To play against Orpheus, you're going to draw 2 cards. You're going to keep 1, place it into your song. Excuse me while I fix my wreath. These are much more of a nuisance than one would think. Just fall into pieces. It's spring. Keep 1 card, place it in your song. Wherever you place it, it stays there. Sorry. Next one, you're going to place for Orpheus. You're going to check on the left. If anything matches on the left, it stays there. If it does not, you move it to the right. You follow the same scoring rules as the 2-player game. Super chill. In this case, the part matches the part. It's going on the left. I'm going to draw 2 more cards. I'm going to keep doing this until I have 6 cards in my song. At the end, you'll have 6 cards in your song. Orpheus will have 7, because he's such an attention hog. I neglected to mention Orpheus has 2 challenge levels. Start with the basic one. It says 1 at the top. Very simple. I like it. There is a scoring rule. Look at that X. We had to go to our rulebook. Boo. And it tells us what the X is. It means that Orpheus gets to double his heart total. Fantastic. If you want to play a little harder, flip it over to 2. And now you have X and this other funny character I never learned how to read. Very unfortunate. But the scoring rule is in here. Twice as hard. Once we have our songs laid out, we score exactly the same. We look at the hearts to determine the winner. Remember, Orpheus gets double the heart. So if he has 2, 4, and 5, because he is a lover at heart, he gets 10 hearts. I have 2, 3, 4, and 5. Boo. He would get those points. And then we score for each of us the exact same way. We look for the parts, size squared, then we go to our flow, that is exponential, so I probably said those backwards in 2-player, but I explained what was going on, so it's totally cool. And finally, the charms. Whoever has the most points at the end of that round gets to keep a blessing. Just take a card, any card, doesn't matter. What that means is you have 1 heart toward the next round. You play until either you or Orpheus has 2 blessings. That's right, leave those sailors alone. And there you have it, folks. Sirens, part of the Tiny Games series for NV Born Games. If this interests you, check out the description below for a link to the Kickstarter page, or if it's later, just go to NV Born Games somewhere. I'm sure you can find them. And hey there, all of my millions of adoring fans, if you're enjoying this content, please go ahead and give me that like, Be sure to subscribe so you can see more of this fantastic awesomeness that is myself. And you know what you get in return? A nice little wink. I know, I'm generous. Welcome to 1995 and Defrag. You know what you were doing in 1995. You probably weren't born because you're all kids. I was alive, and you know what I was doing? I was defragging my 1995 PC with America Online in it. Now I get to defrag just for fun. Let's take a look in the box. This is a card/tile placement game. We have here our score pad. It's a whiteboard. What fun. You can write things and then erase it. Oh my goodness, it's magic. Just like me. Wanna give me a call? Here's my number, 777-653-2020. That's right, 2020. I hope that's not a phone number. We have our Defrag user manual right here, but I'm just going to show you how it plays. You've got a deck of cards. You're going to lay them out in any orientation. They can be upright, upside down, flip them over, different, who cares? As the one-eyed peas would say, boom boom pow. The goal is to play in 4 rounds and score 4 different file types by defragging your computer and scoring the file types over here. You've got the notepad, you've got the paint, you've got the Excel sheet, whatever it's called, and of course you've got your favorite, the MS-DOS system icon thing. You can score these in any order you want, but you can only score 1 file type per round. And once you scored 1, congratulations, you get to move on to the next. This hat really shaves off about 15 years, wouldn't you say? Over here's a draw pile. Draw a card, just do what I say, don't ask questions, good. You can use either side, doesn't really matter, but this one does have to be face up. Just make sure you can read the word. You get to place this in any empty spot on this grid. Right now there's only 1, and then you get to carry out the action in the middle. Very simple. The other things that matter are the file icon types. If I put this down and any of these file icon types match each other, in this case a paintbrush matches a paintbrush, I get to do a little twisty-turvy, just like high school. Any matching icons, you get to turn that card in any orientation you like. You don't get to flip it, you don't get to touch the card you laid down. Hands off. The goal is to get quite a few of the same file type facing upward. Then you get to combine them in one pile, and that's called defragging. After we do our twisty-turvy, we get to follow the directions in the middle. This one tells us that we get to move any matching upper file types. This is the active file type to the left or to the right. We want to build a stack of 1 file type, so we're going to do that. We're going to move this one to the right, because see, the active file type, paintbrush and paintbrush, we just defragged a little bit. We now have a new empty space there. Our goal is to get a nice pile of this file type. Each icon, so in this case there's only 2, but let's say this one was face up, well that would be 2 more. When it comes to getting to the bottom of the deck and you place your last card, well hey, you get to go to scoring. You score 1 of the file types, which means it has to be a pile and only 1 pile. If I have 2 piles of paintbrushes, I don't get to score the paintbrushes. Get them all in 1 pile. Though there are special icons that come in the middle, I'm not going to get into all of them, that allow for you to break some of these rules and even have 2 different piles thanks to a file tree. I said I wasn't going to get into it, and here I'm so fascinated. I'm going to stop. And at the end, score your cards. Let's say we went with paintbrush 2, 4, 6, 7, 8. 8 points. I write it down in here. Boom. 8 for the paintbrush. Shuffle everything up. Go to round 2. Now I have to file for the other scoring types. The end of the game, you get your score. Then you check it against the score guide somewhere in the instruction booklet. That's not the instruction booklet. Don't go to that. That would be silly. There we go. Final score and rank. You can also play in cooperative mode, multiplayer competitive mode. There are many special actions based on the symbols in the middle. You've got this network action that lets you move a card from anywhere to anywhere. You've got a save action. Don't remember what it does. Of course, the recycle. You've got help files. Told you a little about the file tree. There's also a chain system where you're able to move along a chain of matching icons. So there is some complexity going on. There's also 50 different ways to play. Maybe I told you a lie. Actually, it's 40. My bad. Now I told you the truth. You can trust me again. Start at number 1 for a unique challenge. It just twists the rules up and you can work your way up more and more and it gets more complicated. There you go. 1995 Defrag. 16 Candies, a 3 to 4 player game, no solo mode on this one. Let's open the box. Cue the music. Makes me want to eat a cookie. I'm gonna eat an Oreo. I'm gonna eat another Oreo. But this isn't 16 cookies, this is 16 candies. Don't get Oreos. I'm sorry if I've got chocolate in my teeth. I'm about to drool. Give me a second. Bam, what a good save. Instead, buy licorice. If you don't want to buy licorice, use the little cardboard tokens, but just go buy licorice. The goal of this game is to be the last person left with candy. Then you win. Start out by passing out each player. Again, it's not 3 to 4 players anymore. I was wrong. It's actually 2 to 4 players. Pass out 16 candies, or, if you're boring and dull, 16 cardboard tokens of candy. Each player, we're going to pretend this is a 3-player game. Boom. That's the first player lollipop token, whatever, to the youngest player. Boom. There you go. Each player gets 3 cards face down. Boom, 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 and boom, boom, boom. Then, you get to look at your cards and you get to try to match your candy. This is your draw pile. There's going to be a discard pile. You can flip it in any orientation you like. In this case, we're going to do this. In this case, I've got a lot of chocolate. I want to have the most of one type of candy. The other player might be going for the hearts. They've got quite a few of those. This player here might be going for something entirely different. Boy, they didn't get very fortunate. Let's go with pink bunnies. First player's gonna draw a card and then discard a card. Look at that, they got a wild. We're gonna pretend it's a bunny. Next player gets to, they have to discard a card, of course. Boom. Next player can draw from the top of the discard pile or draw blind. Play continues this way until any player, which can do this at any time, shouts out, "I've got candy." The round doesn't end until someone yells out, "I've got candy." Just like that, in that tone, or you can sing the song if you so desire. I've got the voice of an angel, but I charge for that. Let's say that middle dude here, myself, decided to call out, "I've got candy." That ends the round. The remaining players get their final turn. When it comes back to me, we score it out. If the player who yelled out, "I've got candy," actually has the most of any one type of candy, they get to gain 2 licorice. Congratulations. If they did not, they're going to have to pay a penalty based on the cards at the top. In this case, I could lose up to 5 licorice. That's pretty bad. Players who did not yell, "I've got candy," don't stand to gain a darn thing. That's right, they can only lose candy if they end up being losers. Then you shuffle all the cards up and you go again. You play like this until only one person has candy left. There are other side little things, like there is an instant win if you have 3 cards of the same candy type of 4, 5, 6 candies. Bam, you instantly win the round. Congratulations. There you have it, folks. 16 candies. NV-born games. Final game featured here in the Tiny Games series. If you're interested, check the description for the link to the Kickstarter, or if you're watching this very late, because it is amazing, just go to NV-born Games and find out where on earth you can find these little tiny games. That's it, folks. I love you all, and I will see you next time.